Howdy folks, Kirk and Jay here with Kirk Giordano Plastering. Today, I want to show you how to repair a patch job. Now this patch is a little proud from the wall. What you do is you take a 2x4, you put it on here to here, and it'll show you how proud it is. It's actually about almost an inch proud. Here, I'd rather, if I'm doing the repair, which I am now, I'd rather have it thin than too proud. This is about an inch. Now, first thing we got to do is we got to bust some of this out. And when I say bust some of it out, what happens if you use a grinder, like most people use a grinder? Well, you have every neighbor in the neighborhood hating you because there'll be dust all over their furniture, all over the house. If they got a window open, it's going in the living room. So don't use a grinder, guys. Don't do that. I've tried it like once and had enough of that. If you use strength, okay, you say, man, I'm a strong guy. I'll just bust it all off. You can do that, but it'll take you forever. And one of the things about busting it out like this, guys, what's under here? There's 2 layers of paper. So if you hit it hard enough, you'll break the 2 layers of paper. So don't do that either. The easiest way, you get yourself a bulldog. Now, generally I have this to break out stucco, but I put a scraper in. And now granted, wear a mask if you do this. I've been inhaling this stuff for over 35 years, so I only have a day left to live anyhow. Kidding. Okay, here's what you do with a scraper and a bulldog. Put it on hammer chisel. And just you see where that's going. I like that. That's taking the top coat off, and I could see that this was thrown on. And by the way, guys, this is a thrown on finish, a dash finish. What is a dash finish? Remember that old saying, like a dash of salt? Well, this is a dash brush, and what you do is you dip this in a 5-gallon bucket and you throw it. That's a dash finish. Can I match this finish here with a dash? Yeah, but there's an easier way because this is an older house and it's been painted about, I don't know, 20, 30 times. It's softened everything. So we're going to remove this, and I'll show you how we repair it without having to dash it. Okay, guys, we're going to show you a couple techniques of reasons why. On this perimeter, let me have another one, baby. On the perimeter, okay, you use a trowel, a rod, or anything, and you see the difference. Right here, we're pretty proud. So I'm going to put a thin coat here, and I'm going to double up here. Here's a tip, guys. Okay, depending on how bad your perimeter patch is, you could fill this 1 inch. You fill here, this hollow spot. You see that, guys? Okay, it's hollow. So I fill here 1 inch and I feather into nothing. Then here I hit tight. I'll show you what I'm talking about. Okay, guys, right here, I'm gonna hit tight. All right. All right. Tight. I'm hitting real tight. Yep, what's that? Piece of crap. All right, so we hit this tight. Get out of there. And then here, where the perimeter is, I'm going to go a bit heavier. Okay, now this is going to be loose because I want to get the perimeter correct. So it's all right. I got a better angle for you guys in a minute. Let's see. Okay, so one more time right here because I want a lot of mud and I want to feather in to nothing. I like doing car body. Okay, so I'm feathering in here to the existing. Then I'm leaving this full right where the patch is. And in between here, I'm going tight. Up here, I'm feathering out a little bit more because it's a little bit hollow here. Nothing we can't handle. We fill it out so that it's level. Okay, so now that we got that top right, remember this is the key right here. So this is about a 1/4 inch thick because we're already proud. And then here is 1 inch here and it feathers from nothing to itself. Now underneath is the same deal, guys. I'll show you. Let me get off this ladder. Right here where it's proud, real similar. So there's a big difference here. So what we're going to do is fill this. And that's why this blue stuff, this weldcrete, this blue stuff here, that's a bonding agent because stucco will not stick to a painted surface. And depending again how bad the feathering is, or the transition, you can go thicker right here. Put it thick. That gives me a lot of play to bring it out to where it's supposed to be. And the same thing as the side. Get this part tight where it's already proud. Leave a lot of stucco right there where you need it so that you feather into the existing and you leave some stucco there. All right, guys, let me switch from this area to over here, another patch. All right, and basically, guys, the same deal as over there. This patch right here is real thin, so I hit this with a float. And what I'm doing with this float is I'm bringing out the aggregate. So I floated this about 10 minutes ago. Now, in about another, you judge it by about another 15 minutes, I would float the edge in, you get your perimeter, because this right here is not setting as fast as this because this is about 1 inch thick, while this is about 1/4 inch. And this is called feathering in, guys. You're feathering in and you use your whole float. This feathers in this side into nothing, feathered into nothing, and then I'm pushing this down and keeping this one up. That way the transition is tight. I'm going to finish spreading this out because Jay needs to mix a little bit of mud. Then I'm going to come here. This is not quite ready yet. Obviously that's not quite ready. But when I get to that stage, I'll go ahead and show you a little bit more about the transitions and how you achieve them. Let me show you where we're at right now. So a lot of this takes knowledge of the materials we're using, the stucco, because here I'm thin, here I'm thick. Now I'm using the sponge float to bring out some of the aggregate right here. Aggregate, what is it? Fancy word for sand. Okay, so we're floating into it. What I'm doing is I'm bringing out a little bit of sand. And you look at it, you say, hey, that's a good match. But that would be incorrect because it looks a lot better because it's not full of huge mountains. But the fact is, it won't match either. The other one was too proud, too heavy, too much going on. Here, it's too fine. So if he painted this, he'd call me and say, Kirk, you know what? That patch you did looks better, but it's not exact. It's too fine. So what I'm doing here is green sponge float. I take it and I feather into the existing. I take it from the top and feather into the existing. The transition is everything, guys. But now by wetting the part here, which is about 1 inch, because we feather into, something like this I feather into either 6 to 12 inches. So we feathered about right to here. So we hit that. Now if I get it too wet, what'll happen when I dash it? See, this is this original dash. And if I dash it while this is too wet, it's not going to give a dash finish. A dash finish is like mountains, all mountains. If this is too wet, it'll give it a crater look. It'll look like moon, the craters, because the dash finish here, this is just watery mud. What I did is I took the mud that we use here, Portland cement, we mixed 3 to 1, 3 parts sand, 1 part Portland cement, and that gives you your mud. Then when we're done with that mud, now we soup it up. Just put a lot of water and drill it up. And because this texture's so light now because of all the years of paint, now it takes a real steady hand, guys. What I did is I dropped off a lot of stucco, okay? I'll show you one more time. Fill the brushes up. See how thick that is? But then I end up with a texture like the last guy. So I'm going to just put a light hand on it. Light. And all I want are little tiny bits of stucco. Okay, I just dipped that in once. I've done jobs where I have to dip it in like 40, 50 times just to get this. I mean, to get it where I want it real heavy. Here I want it real light. And remember, right here it's not completely dry, so you have to use a lighter hand because it'll give an indentation. The sand hitting wet mud will give it an indentation like craters. We don't want a crater look. Okay, so I'm going to get a lot of this mud off here, otherwise I'm going to be too thick. So a light hand, guys. Light hand. Super light. Over here where the downspout is, I don't want to cover it, so I'm going to go straight this way. And all we're doing is just putting a little stipple look. Little stipple, guys. And if you get it too heavy in one spot, if you know what you're doing and you got a float, you could actually float it out. I'll show you. You take a sponge float, get all that water off of there. Get it all off. Put it back on the wall right here. And you can do this. Don't patty cake treatment the wall because you'll crack it. But just tap it, touch it lightly, and it'll give like a painted look. It'll be a lot smoother. Say for example, right here, it looks a little heavier. Just hit it with a sponge, pull it out. Hit it, pull it out. Real lightly. Don't go doing this stuff, guys. That patty cake treatment don't work. I noticed when guys do this because it's all cracked up and it separates. And just a little loose like that. If you want it to be even tighter than that. This guy is all right. He says, "Kirk, you want a beer?" I said, "Man, we're working." He says, "It's Friday. What kind of Irishman are you?" And I thought, you put me on the spot. So cheers, Dan, the fellow I'm doing this for. Anyway, guys, that's how you do a dash finish. And the transition, again, is everything. We thank you for watching, and as usual, we'll see you guys on the next one.
By the way, folks, my dad and I are now members of Amazon affiliates, so if you're looking to buy any of the plastering or construction tools you've seen in our videos and you want to support us in the process, you can check the links below our video, or you can go to our website and get them there. If you have any other questions for tools we don't have linked, email us direct and we'll respond to you then.
Once again, folks, we thank you for watching, and I really enjoy all your comments.
If you guys like this video, please click the like button down below, and also if you enjoy what we do, subscribe to our channel so we can keep making these videos for you.
My name is Kirk.
And Jay.
We thank you for watching, and from the entire Giordano family, we'll see you on the next one.